Let's talk Roth conversions. Here's what I see all the time. Women 50 and older who've saved for decades, sacrificed, made the right moves, and they're still sitting there wondering, should I do a Roth conversion? When should I do it? How much should I even convert? And here's the truth, that conversion is costing them. Not because they did anything wrong, but because nobody ever explained when the Roth conversion strategy actually works, why the timing matters so much, and what happens if you miss the window. Hey there, I'm Lynn, Toomey, founder of Her Retirement and the More for Her Collective. I built my platform because I kept seeing brilliant, capable women leaving real money on the table, not from bad decisions, but from not having the right information at the right time. And Roth conversions, this is one of the most powerful tools in retirement planning when you use it right, and one of the most misunderstood when you don't. In today's video, I'm going to walk you through a few things. One is the ideal conversion window and why most women don't even know it exists. How to see your future tax picture, not just your current one. The hidden traps that derail a perfectly good strategy, and why this isn't a one and done decision. It's something smart retirees revisit every single year. If you've ever asked yourself, should I convert this year? Or worse, did I already miss my shot? I want you to stay with me, because this one strategy done right can give you more control over your income, more confidence in your plan, and a meaningfully smaller tax bill over your lifetime. Let's get into it. Here's the first thing I want you to understand. There is a window, a specific window of time in your retirement where Roth conversions make the most sense. And for most women, it's the years between when you retire and when you claim Social Security. Let me explain why. When you stop working, your regular income drops. You're not pulling a paycheck. You may have delayed Social Security to maximize your benefits later. You haven't started required minimum distributions, or RMDs, yet. We'll talk about those in a moment. What that means is, for potentially the first time in your adult life, your taxable income is genuinely low. And low income means low tax brackets. This is your window. So let's say you retire at 60. You could have 6, 7, even 10 years where your income is at its lowest point, and where you can convert traditional IRA or 401k money into a Roth at 10, 12, or 22% tax rates. These are rates that most working women haven't seen since early in their careers. Here's how to think about it. Imagine your tax bracket like a bucket. Every year you have a certain amount of room in that bucket before you spill into the next bucket. During those early retirement years, that bucket is emptier than it's ever been. Roth conversions are how you fill it, intentionally at the lowest possible cost. Instead of waiting and being forced to withdraw money later at higher rates, you're choosing to pay a smaller tax bill now on your terms. During those income gap years, the most effective approach is to live off cash savings or taxable brokerage accounts, leaving your IRA and your 401k money untouched while you convert the right amount each year into your Roth. That's the window, but it doesn't stay open forever. Let's talk about projecting your future taxes and knowing when the window closes. This is where I want you to shift how you're thinking about this. Most women, when they think about retirement taxes, are only thinking about now. What bracket am I in today? What am I paying this year? But the smarter question, the one that changes everything, is what will I be forced to pay later? Because here's what's coming for a lot of women who've saved well. At age 73, the IRS requires you to start withdrawing money from your traditional retirement accounts. These are called required minimum distributions, or RMDs, meaning you don't get to choose. The government forces the withdrawal whether you need the income or not. And those forced withdrawals can push you into a higher tax bracket than you've ever been in. Let me give you a real example. Let's say a woman has $600,000 in a traditional IRA. She might be forced to take a withdrawal of roughly $23,000 at age 73. A woman with $1 million could be forced to withdraw around $37,000. Now stack that on top of Social Security income, maybe a small pension, maybe investment income. Suddenly, you're in a bracket you never expected. And there's another piece that doesn't even get talked about enough, especially for women. If you're married now and your spouse passes away first, you go from filing taxes as a married couple to filing as a single person. That's called the widow's tax trap. The brackets are narrower. The same income that was taxed at a lower married rate is now taxed at a higher single rate, and there's nothing you can do about it once it happens. So the question isn't just, am I in a low bracket today? The question is, am I in a lower bracket today than I will be in my 70s, 80s, or as a single filer? If the answer is yes, and for many women it is, unfortunately, then converting now at today's lower rate makes real financial sense. There are also Medicare premium surcharges called IRMA, Income Related Monthly Adjustment Amount, and Affordable Care Act subsidy cliffs to be aware of. Higher income in retirement can cost you more in healthcare premiums. Bottom line, your Roth conversion strategy needs to account for all of it together. This is exactly why protecting your future tax picture isn't optional. It's the foundation of the decision. Now let's talk about where most people mess this up, because Roth conversions done wrong can actually cost you more than doing nothing. And I don't want that to happen to you. So trap number one, the 5-year rule. Every Roth conversion has its own 5-year clock. If you convert money from a traditional IRA to a Roth today, that specific money needs to sit in the Roth for 5 years before you can withdraw it penalty free. This matters most if you're under 59 and a half and you're thinking about converting. You may want access to that money sooner than 5 years. If you withdraw early, you could face penalties on the earnings. This doesn't make conversions wrong. It just means the timing and the source of your funds matters. All right, trap number 2, converting in a high income year. This one catches a lot of women, a lot of people off guard. So let's say you sell a rental property, receive an inheritance, or have an unusually high income year for any reason. If you also do a Roth conversion that year, your combined income could push you into a much higher bracket than you intended, or trigger those IRMAA surcharges that spike your Medicare premiums for the following year. So the strategy only works if you're converting within the right brackets, not blindly, not in bulk, and not without looking at everything happening in your financial picture that year. Trap number 3, ignoring ACA subsidies. So let's say you're retired before 65 and you're relying on Marketplace Health Insurance, the ACA. Your premiums are based on your income. Too much income and your subsidy disappears. A large Roth conversion could cost you thousands in healthcare premiums you weren't counting on. This is why I say retirement income planning isn't one decision at a time. It's a system. Social Security timing, tax brackets, healthcare costs, Roth conversions, they all affect each other. And when you plan them together, they're going to work more in your favor. Quick pause, because if you're watching this and thinking, this is exactly what I needed to understand, but I have no idea how to apply it to my specific situation, that is the most common thing I hear from women like you. This is exactly why I built the More for Her Collective. Inside the collective, we have a full module on tax strategy in retirement, including how Roth conversions connect to your Social Security timing, your Medicare premiums, and your overall income plan, step by step, built specifically for women 50 and older. And if you're not sure where you're starting from, I have something called the Retirement Persona Quiz. It takes 5 minutes and tells you who you are and what type of retirement planning you should do based on your retirement personality. Both links you'll find in the description. For now, let me show you how to make your Roth actually work for you once you've converted. All right, let's talk about maximizing the impact in using your Roth wisely. Here's something that surprises a lot of women. You can do the conversion perfectly, right timing, right bracket, right amount, and still undercut yourself by what you put inside the Roth once the money is there. This is called asset location, and it matters more than most people realize. Think of your Roth as your tax-free growth engine. The whole point of the Roth is that the money grows and comes out completely tax-free. So what you want inside your Roth is the money that has the highest growth potential. High growth assets, stocks, equity funds belong in the Roth because their growth is sheltered from tax entirely. Your lower growth assets like bonds, stable income generating holdings belong in your traditional IRA because they're generating less growth anyway and the tax hit is smaller. Tax efficient assets like broad index ETFs or municipal bonds can stay in your taxable brokerage account where they naturally generate fewer taxable events. Here's the mistake I see all the time. A woman converts her money into a Roth, which is exactly the right move, and then she parks it in a money market account or low yield bond fund. And it just sits there. The Roth is literally doing nothing. Don't let that be you. Once the money is in the Roth, give it a job. Put it where it can grow and let it grow tax-free for the rest of your life. Okay, let's talk about recalculating annually. This is not a set it and forget it strategy. And this might be the most important shift in how you think about Roth conversions. This is not a one-time decision. I repeat, this is not a one-time decision. Smart retirees treat Roth conversions as an annual tax management tool, not something they do once and check it off the list and move on to the next thing. Every year, toward the end of the year, November, December, you revisit the question. You look at your income to date, you calculate how much room is left in your current tax bracket, You check whether you have any new income sources coming, Social Security starting, a pension kicking in, an RMD around the corner, and then you convert the right amount for that year. Not last year's amount, not a number someone gave you 3 years ago, the right amount for where you are now. And here's a bonus strategy. Market dips are conversion opportunities. If your RIA balance drops because the market is down, converting in that moment means you're converting fewer dollars at the same tax rate, and when the market recovers, that growth happens inside the Roth completely tax-free. Think of a market dip not just as a paper loss, but as a Roth conversion sale. The bottom line is this: Roth conversions are a tax bracket management tool done annually, thoughtfully, with a clear picture of your full financial situation. They can save tens of thousands of dollars over the course of a retirement. Done randomly, in bulk, or without accounting for healthcare and Social Security, the difference is intentionality. Okay, so let me show you what this looks like in real life. I worked with a woman, let's call her Sandra. She was 62, single, recently retired from a long career in healthcare administration. She had about $820,000 in a traditional 401k and about $75,000 in savings. When Sandra came in, she had 2 plans. Do nothing with her retirement accounts until she needed the money and claim Social Security at 64. She had no idea an RMD was coming, no idea what that would mean for her taxes, and she hadn't thought about Roth conversions at all. She knew a little bit about them, but really wasn't sure when and how and all the details. So here's what I helped her kind of discover and learn about. Sandra had a window from age 62 to 69 where her taxable income was going to be at its lowest point ever. By living off her savings and delaying Social Security, she could keep her income in the 12% tax bracket for several years running. So what ended up happening was getting a gradual conversion strategy mapped out. Each year, converting just enough to fill that bracket without crossing into IRMA territory or affecting her ACA marketplace plan. By converting steadily over 8 years, Sandra moved a significant portion of her 401k into a Roth at a 12% tax rate. By converting steadily over 8 years, Sandra moved a significant portion of her 401k into a Roth at a 12% tax rate before RMDs forced withdrawals at a rate that would have been nearly double. She also discovered that by delaying Social Security to 70, her benefit was 32% higher than it would have been at 64. Nothing about Sandra's situation magically changed. She just finally understood the full picture, and once she did, she had years to act on it. So here's what I want you to take away from today. A Roth conversion isn't a tax trick. It's a decision to control when you pay taxes while you still have that choice. The window exists, it's real for many people, and it opens right at the beginning of retirement for most people. What you do with that window determines a lot about the retirement that follows. So if you happen to be within 5 to 10 years of retirement, or you've already retired and you're not sure whether you've made the most of your Roth conversion opportunity, now is the moment to find out. Not because it's complicated, but because every year you wait is a year of that window you don't get back. So one of the things that I offer in the More for Her Collective is a connection point for you to get connected with the experts that can help you get this stuff done, to help you figure out if tax planning, if Roth conversions are going to put you in a better situation. So if you are in a position where you want some tax planning help, definitely reach out to me, because I can connect you with those experts that can potentially put you in a better position from a retirement planning perspective, from a tax planning perspective. And I would like to encourage you to check out the More for Her Collective. You can access it on the Her Retirement website. It is the industry's first retirement readiness platform to help you know more, have more, and live more. I believe in the power of education and understanding some of these very important retirement planning topics. Many of us have done the hard part, which is the saving and sacrificing, and now we have this nest egg and we need to figure out what is the best way to make it last, to keep more of your hard-earned money. So now it's the time to make sure every dollar you have saved and invested actually works for you in the way you deserve, and I'm here for it. I'm 100% committed to help you know more, have more, and live more now and in retirement. I would love to see you inside the collective or in my inbox asking for a connection to an expert. Thanks for watching, and I hope you like this video and subscribe so you don't miss any of my future educational content all about retirement. Let's get her done.